and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to episode 18 of my sub setup series. This time round it's the turn of Ghostmonster, and if you've been following this series for any length of time, you'll know that Ghostmonster's already had a go at this. In fact, he currently sits in second place with his M4 build, but let's go back to November of last year when he first submitted that build to me, and that went straight to number one. In fact, it was the first car that I'd actually had on this list that hit the 11,000 point mark. So when he submitted another build to me, I knew it was probably going to be pretty good, but as with all of these builds, there is a huge gap between when I actually receive them and when I finally get around to making these videos, so this has been sitting there for a very long time. But speaking with Ghostmonster, more recently it turns out that today is actually his birthday, so what I thought I'd do is get the video all ready for him, get it put up today as a bit of a present. So happy birthday to you, Ghostmonster. Hopefully this build works out as well for you as the last one did. The car he's gone for this time round, as you'll be seeing on the screen right now, is actually the NSX. It's the Group 3 version of the car. It's a car that I personally absolutely love, certainly from doing sort of point scoring runs within the drift trials within the game. It's one of those cars that just seems to be so consistent at getting huge scores where other cars just can't manage it. I've spoken about it in previous videos, and also I still hold my highest score for Suzuka Drift Trial with the NSX Group 3, my personal build. So this was a very wise choice indeed. Just in case you've never seen one of these videos before, it's important to know that this build that I'm showing you today has absolutely nothing to do with me. It has been submitted to me by Ghostmonster. It's his own personal build. I put them here on the channel against one another on the Dragon Trail Drift Trial, and I like to give my feedback to each one of the builds that you guys have sent over to me. At the end of the video, I will be giving you the exact setup that was sent to me as well, so if you want to go away and try this out yourself, you are very welcome to. All I ask is that you use the comment section down below to let Ghostmonster know exactly what you think about his build. But let's get back to my thoughts anyway, and I'm really pleased to say that yet again it's another build that I absolutely love to use. This time round, obviously using that NSX though, we've got a fantastic platform to start with, and there is a lot to work with there in the first place. Ghostmonster has adjusted all of the things you would expect him to do, and on top of that he has lengthened a few of the gears as well. What we're actually left with here though is a car that is absolutely beautiful to use. It really does transition incredibly smoothly. I've had no issues with this car at all. In fact, I've barely come off the track even from the first moment I got into this thing. It's going to be a great beginner car. It's also one of those cars, as an experienced drifter within GT Sport, you can take this thing out and absolutely shred any track you want to. You've got enough power there. There's certainly going to be no issues with transitioning between some of the longer stretches. It just felt instantly comfortable, and I couldn't wait to actually put this round the drift trial and see exactly how it was going to do. Which brings us on very nicely to the drift trial itself. Now, if you've not seen any of these videos before, I will very briefly go over the rules of this. If you do want the rules in more depth, please click on the link which I'm going to have at the top of the screen now, which will take you to the Sub Setup series playlist. You can go back and watch as many episodes as you want, but I go over the rules a little bit more in depth in those videos. Ultimately though, the name of the game here is to get as many points as possible. I have only 5 minutes to use these cars for, and within that time, whichever is the highest scoring run that I do is the score we take and put onto the leaderboard. As I mentioned before, Ghostmonster is already on this board, currently sitting in second position with his M4 build. He was knocked off the top spot by .cfg with his Audi R8. Upula is currently sitting in third place with his M3 GT build, and all the scores are incredibly close. We're talking only a difference of 110 points between first and third there. And actually, come to think of it, I hadn't even noticed before, but it's a very German first three there as well. We've got an Audi followed by 2 BMWs. So maybe now is the time for Japan to take the top spot. But what I'll do is I'll shut up now. I'll let you see the best run that I actually got with this NSX. And then we'll come back to the leaderboard and see exactly how Ghostmonster has done. go, across the line with an enormous score of 11,296 points. That puts you straight in at number 1. But it's also a new personal record for me as well. I've never got a higher score here on the Dragon Trail Drift Trial. So there's no arguing that this is a fantastic build. Thank you ever so much, Ghostmonster, for sending this one over. And again, happy birthday. What a great result to have on a day like this. As promised, I'm now going to take you over to Ghostmonster's build so you can try this absolute monster out for yourself. Hopefully you all enjoy this one as much as I have been, but just remember, it's so important you give a feedback down in the comment section for Ghostmonster so he knows exactly what you guys think about his build. Okay, so this is his build and this is exactly what he sent over to me. So for power level, you want to be taking it all the way up to level 3 there, right to the top at 122%, and that's going to give you 693 brake horsepower. For the weight reduction, again, level 3 there, and he's dropped it all the way to 84% or 1,092 kilograms. For the traction control, he's got that one set to 0 and comfort hard tyres both front and rear. With the brake balance on this, he's left that at 0, but the ride height you do want to be adjusting all the way down there, so 55 on the front and 65 on the rear. Natural frequency is set to 2.8 on the front and 2.8 on the back. And the anti-roll bar is set to 4 on the front and 7 on the rear. The compression and rebound here is gone for 55, 55 and 85 and 85, with the camber angle on the front set to 3 and 1.5 on the back. Toe angle for this one is set out 0.25 on the front and in 0.45 on the rear. And with the downforce, he's taken it as low as you possibly can here, so 300 on the front and 700 on the back. Now the differential you want to be setting to fully customized, and he's gone for 20, 40 and 30. And with the transmission, again, you want to be going fully customized here. Set the max speed to 168 miles per hour. But what I'll do is I'll leave these on the screen here because he has actually altered a few of the gears. So like I say, I'll leave that on screen, copy it down, make sure you get it exactly right. But again, just remember to send over feedback so he knows exactly what you think about it. Once again, thanks Ghostmonster for sending this one over. Happy birthday to you. I really have had a load of fun using it. It's a great car and I think all of you out there should give this one a go. As always, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Also, give the video a like if you've enjoyed what you've seen here today. It really does help these videos grow whenever you do that. Thanks for all your support, happy drifting, and I'll see you on the next one.